This video will be a demonstration of a new simulation baseball game named National Pastime 3. This computerized game is a direct translation of Skeetersoft's Cards and Dice tabletop game. Because this is direct translation, it is not necessary to own the Skeetersoft boards and cards in order to play the computer version. All of the advanced features of the Skeetersoft game are built into the computer version. When you open the program, this is the opening screen, and because there is no need to perform any type of setup, you're ready to play your first game. So let's do that. Let's start playing a game. This demo is using the 2013 season. I have selected the Orioles and the Red Sox. You can select any two teams, and I will show you how this is done in part 2 of this video. The way the game works is by rolling a pair of dice. On the lower left of the screen is a pair of simulated dice. You can use your own dice and enter the dice rolls by unchecking this box and entering the result. Or you can have the game roll the dice for you. For this demonstration, I'll be using the game's simulated dice. The first batter for the Orioles is Nate McLuth, and he's facing Boston's John Lester. I click on the Roll Dice button, and this produces a dice result of 1-6. Now this is how the dice are read. The two die are not added up in the traditional sense, but are read with the green die as the first number and the smaller white die of the second number, thus the 1-6. The dice result of 1-6 is then matched to Nate McLuth's card. The computer does this for us and reads off of McLuth's card 28. 28 is called the play result number, and the computer performs an internal lookup based on the Skeetersoft playing boards. There are 8 boards built into the game, one board for each of the 8 possible on-base situations that can occur in a baseball game. Bases empty, runner on first, runner on second, all the way up to the bases loaded. In this example, the bases were empty, so the 28 was looked up internally on the bases empty board, and this resulted in a ground out to the shortstop. And as you can see, this is the board description. The batter is out at first, assist to the shortstop, put out to the first baseman. And in the game log, McLeod grounded out 6-3. 1 out. We click on the next card button, and the next batter, Manny Machado, has a dice roll of 2-6, which produces a play result number of 12. Again, the computer does the internal lookup on the bases empty board, and the batter is out at first, assist to the first baseman, put out to the pitcher covering first. Ground out 3-1. Nick Markakis is the batter, and he has a dice roll of 4-3, which produces a play result number of 29, the internal lookup on the bases empty board, and again the batter is out at first, pitcher to the first baseman, and that's the end of the first half inning. Now Boston comes to bat. Jacoby Ellsbury is the leadoff batter. He has a dice roll of 6-3, produces a play result number of 31, the internal lookup on the bases empty board, fly out to center field. 1 out. Shane Victorino has a dice roll of 3-3, and that produces a play result number of 6. 6 with the bases empty is a double. However, because Chris Tillman gives up more home runs on average than the pitchers that played in 2013, there is a potential that this double can be increased to a home run. This is part of Skeetersoft's advanced pitching ratings for pitchers giving up home runs. First, we look at Victorino's ability to hit home runs, and we need to roll the dice. And the dice roll of 2-6 is within Victorino's range, So there is a potential increase of the double to a home run. Now we go to Tillman's rating, and his range is 11 to 26, so we need to roll the dice again. And again, you can enter your own dice roll or have the computer roll the dice. 3-2 is outside of this range, so therefore the double stands. It does not increase to a home run. So Victorino is on at second base. And there's one out. Dustin Pedroia is the batter. Now, you have the options as a manager. You have first base open. We could intentionally walk Pedroia. It's early in the game. We probably wouldn't do that. But if it was in a part of the game where maybe we want to look up the next batter, and the next batter is David Ortiz. If we highlight over the next batter, we get to look at his card, and that may influence our decision. But we'll just let Pedroia, we'll pitch to Pedroia. Okay, a 3-run was the dice roll, and that produced a play result number of 9. Now we had a man on second, so the internal lookup man on second with a 9 is a single over second, runner scores. So Pedroia gets credited with the RBI, and the Red Sox take a 1-0 lead. Now Ortiz is the batter. He has a dice roll of 2-6, which is a play result number of 12. 12 with a runner on first is a double play, 4 to 6 to 3. And that ends the first inning. Boston leads 1-0. Now let's stop the game at this point. We can save the game to a file and come back to it at any time to complete the game. And it will start where we left off, with Ortiz being retired, and the next batter would be Adam Jones. So let's save the game. And the default name is Orioles_Red Sox. Now we could give this any name we wish. I'm just going to prefix it with the word demo, and then I'm going to save the game. Let's take a look at some of the other features of this computerized version of Skeetersoft's National Pastime 3 game. If you wanted to follow and play a replay based off of the 2013 season, included with the computerized game is what we call an as-played schedule. If we click on this tab, this grid lists every game that was actually played in 2013, the date, the teams, the starting pitchers, and also the actual lineups that were used for that given date and game. And if we continue to click on each row of the grid, we can see that the lineups change over on the far right. So if you wanted to play a replay based off of the actual schedule and the actual lineups, you can use this grid as a guide. However, you're not required to use this grid if you want to perform a replay. You can follow your own made-up schedule, you can create your own lineups, etc. The choice is yours. Now I have an active replay going based off of the 1965 season. So let's come over to this tab, Change Season, and I'm going to select the 1965 season. Now in this particular replay, I have decided to use the as-played schedule, and I'm using the actual lineups. However, I decided just to play American League games. If we come over to the Standings tab, as you can see, there are only games displayed for the American League, not the National League. That was my choice. However, because of the flexibility of this game, I could start playing the National League games, and it will not affect the games I have played with the American League. I don't need to start over. And also, I don't need to follow the schedule. I can follow my own made-up schedule. Now, all of these games that I have played, all of the statistics are kept for you. If I come over to this tab called Statistics, this tab has additional tabs built in that will give me the stats by team, will give me the batting leaders, Group 1. These are the categories, home runs, RBIs, etc. Then Group 2, which is doubles, triples, etc. I also have the pitching leaders. Or I can look at every single player, batting, pitching, or fielding. Now, if I wanted to look at an individual player, I can do so. I could select this radio button called Individual by Game, and I'm going to select the Twins, and I know that Tony Oliva is having a very good season. So let's take a look at his statistics, and these are by game. And as you can see, he's batting .338 with 16 home runs and 102 RBIs, and this is done by game. These are the teams he played against. If you own Microsoft Excel and you want to take these statistics and bring them into Excel, you can do so just by clicking this button. So let's do that. Now, this brings the information directly into Excel. It doesn't create a file that you have to import. Creates the file, brings the information, and saves the file for you. So these are the statistics for Tony Oliva by game. And from here, you could do further analysis if you want. You can see how he does against certain teams. You also can see if you wanted to create a pie chart of all of his hits, how many doubles, triples, home runs. If you know how to use Excel, you can perform additional data analysis and create graphs if you wish. Now, in addition, all of the individual at-bats are also kept internally. And if we click on this tab called By At Bat, we can again select any player, and we can see how he's doing against one team or all the teams, etc. So let's click again batter versus all teams, and again if we select, let's change it. Let's select the Red Sox, and let's select Carl Yastrzemski, and we click on this button, and these are Yastrzemski's stats by at bat, and he's batting .301, 14 home runs. He has walked 59 times. He has 58 strikeouts, and also too it gives you the pitcher that he faced in the inning. So again, we can bring this out to Excel, and you can then again perform sorts. You could see how he does maybe by inning or in the late innings. What's his batting average? Again, it's up to you. And again, this does not create a file that you have to import. It goes directly into Excel. Let's look at one more tab, the League tab, and again this will give us all the stats by each individual team. These are all the batting statistics, and again that can be exported to Excel. And for those that like to do replays and would like to post them to forums or whatever, we also create text files. Again, it's all done for you automatically. We also could look at the pitching statistics, and again we can send it to Excel or create a text file, and also the fielding statistics. Okay, this will conclude part 1 of the video. In part 2, we'll go over some other items within the game, and we'll also show you how to select different teams and how to either use the as played schedule or selecting your own lineups. That will be done in part 2.